Ever wondered what's really behind the headlines? Or why certain theories just won't go away? Dive into the world of the No Name Podcast, your go-to podcast for unraveling the mysteries of conspiracies, politics, and everyday life. Each week, we blend our opinions, analysis, with some storytelling to uncover the hidden layers of our world. From the latest political intrigue to the most fascinating conspiracy theories, we bring you a balanced dose of skepticism and insight. Whether you're a seasoned critical thinker or just curious about the whispers that swirl around us, we offer a space where your questions are welcome and your mind can wander free. Tune in, spark your curiosity, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. The No Name Podcast, where every episode is a new chance to think critically and see the world through a different lens. Don't miss out. Like, share, and subscribe today and join the conversation.
Hey, this is Jeremy coming to you from the No Name Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's Dustin.
It's your boy Trey.
Yeah, he made it back for another one.
Boy, Trey.
Hey, I'm back, man. It's 2025. I'm feeling alive.
He said he feels alive.
Just had to go on a 3-week hiatus, I guess, Just
It's nothing wrong with a little sabbatical.
unless you're sick the whole time.
A little sick sabbatical.
He just
Drugged
didn't
up.
care about everybody, is what it was. We said. That's what we said when he was gone. I was like, Trey just don't care about the people.
Actually, watch this. We had the conversation on this podcast. I would not come around people if I think I'm sick.
Did you think you had Ebola?
No, I definitely. I mean, it's crazy that I say that. So just not the rabbit hole episode, right? But this is crazy. So y'all know bird flu is a thing. The CDC always. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all. Maybe this is too much information. The CDC has already put in an article that it may be a pandemic.
You are fake news.
All right. All I want y'all to say is.
Oh, I already saw that article. I think you sent it to me. I think
Yeah.
you sent it to
And the
me.
reason I sent it was because. The reason I say that is my grandma has it.
Yeah.
What?
She has the bird flu, and then
Oh, wow.
she lives in a house with a lot of my cousins,
Oh, geez.
and they all have it. They all feel some type of effect. They don't know what they have per se, but they all have some kind of effect. So I say that to say they should be fine. But watch this. My mom went over to check on, of course, her mother,
Yeah.
and you know who she has. My mom spends a lot of time with my daughter,
Right.
and then my mom was like, "I've been exposed, and I think I may expose Anna Lee. So yeah, I'm gonna keep her with me because I don't want to get y'all sick."
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, "Well, that's my daughter, so."
Yeah.
But like, go get her some zinc and elderberry ASAP. See, can we just
Bring it down just
bring
in
it-
case.
just try to get the immune system boosted?
I
Right.
could totally see another pandemic happening.
We need one.
Oh, we need
We
one.
need
Jesus. We need. We need. And he says it so sincerely. Look at the seriousness.
Why do we need
He goes, oh, we need one.
I don't think we learned whatever we were supposed to learn from the first pandemic that was orchestrated. I don't think that we learned what we were supposed to learn as humans.
We didn't learn our lesson.
We didn't.
the
That's like saying, let's unleash another black plague. They didn't learn it the first time.
Why not?
Oh, my God. Jeez.
Wait,
What's wrong with you?
did 2025 make you guys change positions here? I feel like I'm
I'm
still.
not saying kill millions of people.
It does feel that way.
It feels that. I feel like we're a little doom
the
and gloom.
Twilight
All of a
Zone
sudden,
here.
we need another
We're in the Twilight
pandemic.
Zone.
Okay,
We
here-
didn't learn a lesson. What?
Okay, hear me out. Hear me
Twilight
out.
Zone here where
We talk- we-
we switched dimensions here.
No, I'm not saying kill millions of people. What I'm saying is, Jeremy, you would agree that the first pandemic, people came out worse. So maybe we need another one so people can come out better.
Oh my God! It's not going to make it any better.
Okay,
You want to know what we learned from the first pandemic is that the
Not a darn
people
thing.
will do whatever they have to in the name of safety. They'll mask up. They'll social distance. They'll shut their
Not in
businesses
Atlanta.
down.
The booty club was still open.
Well,
Well,
that
it's
was,
essential.
It was essential. We went over that.
Again, I don't think it's essential, but the government felt that it's essential.
It was people coming from. I think the reason why the population went up because people fled Pennsylvania, fled whatever other states around us. It was like, hey, I need to go to the booty clubs immediately because Atlanta is doing something right down there.
Okay, but that just shows you that the rest of the country, well, I'll say 80% of the country, continued to mask up, continued to shut their businesses down and everything else way past the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even 4 weeks. So that kind of goes back to what I think we learned is that people are willing to sacrifice everything in the name of safety because that's the way that they present
Are you saying
it.
that's a bad thing?
Absolutely.
We got to put this on the name of safety.
Yeah.
This was
This is why y'all didn't learn anything. See, that's just,
So I should have learned to listen to daddy
The
government.
the second pandemic is going to be another test to say, okay, we succeeded in the first one because everybody fell in line, did what we were supposed to, so did what they were supposed to do. Let's see if we can do it again. If we can do it again, then we know we got it.
okay.
It's heading towards the one world government theory.
Okay, so if we have another what if it's nature? Like okay, do y'all believe in the Ice Age?
Do I believe there was an ice
Yeah,
age?
do you believe it was Ice Age?
I didn't see it. I don't know. I assume so.
Well,
Jeremy, no, you can't. That's a terrible argument as a Christian, by the way. Terrible argument. I always tell Christians never start an argument with "I didn't see it," and then the first thing I was like, "Really? Do you see Jesus? Do you see?"
Okay, that's
air?
having faith. I don't have faith in the government to tell
Do
me
you
we
have
had
faith
an
in the Ice Age?
I didn't see it. I don't have faith in my government that tells me there was an ice age.
That wasn't your government who tells you. This is science.
Again, I don't have faith in my government that tells me there was an ice age.
do you believe there's
I
a
say it
sun?
again.
Do
Huh?
you believe there's a sun? Do you believe there's a moon?
Air, H2O.
I mean, I breathe air.
How do you
so
know that? You could be posing carbon monoxide poisoning right now.
It's
You breathe
Fair.
what they told you is air. What if
Oh,
it's not air?
thank you, Dustin.
okay. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
No, I was just saying.
So how are you not opposed to fake air if you're not opposed to the freaking Ice Age?
I'm not
didn't say
opposed
he's
that there
opposed.
was an ice
He
age.
didn't say he's opposed to an ice age. He said he doesn't know. He didn't see it.
Exactly. You know, my new stance is that if I haven't seen it or experienced it with my own eyes or from somebody that I know, trust, or love that has physically seen it or experienced it for themselves, I don't trust it.
So you don't believe in there's a Rome?
A Rome?
Have you been to Rome?
I haven't been.
Have you been? So it's a lot of places you haven't been that you believe they're there.
I assume it's there. Maybe it's not there. I don't know.
You been to Canada?
Have you been to Rome?
Yes.
I believe there's a Rome.
I could be lying. I'm an agent of the government anyway.
Again, I know, love, trust you, which is what I said. And if I'm wrong, then I'm really missing the boat, and I'm about to make some big changes.
to my friend group.
So, speaking of what if I'm wrong, I want to dive down my rabbit hole now.
Let's go. Go with it.
I'm going to go big on this one of what if we're all wrong? What if the reality that we live in is completely wrong and it's not real? Because think about it. We know that scientists and science, if you believe and trust science, says we know scientifically proven other dimensions exist.
Okay, and before you dive into that, let me ask a question. I got called out a minute ago by Trey on science/government. Are you saying that science isn't government funded, Trey?
Not all of it.
Okay, who's privately funding? Give me some names.
There are genuine. I don't have their names, but I've met. There's scientists who was doing the research out of their own pocket out of school, where like the school they get grants from. They get grants from the government that's not tied to anything. Like a grant doesn't say, "Hey, prove this to be real." This says, "Hey, we want you to do research to figure out this for us because we don't have."
And we want you to come up with this result, right?
No, not grants. No, this is what I'm saying. Not grants. Grant says, "Here's the money. We want you just to find like first there are grants about diabetes research. We just want to know, can we beat this?" And they'll pay these different schools to figure out answers. So that's why, or it's be some dumb stuff like sleep studies.
Yeah.
So we wanted to know. Not even just sometimes government. Sometimes just these rich people who have money to say, "Hey, we want to know," like a purple mattress company, right? They want to say, "We want to know if people are sleeping certain type of way, so we can build mattresses different." So sometimes it's corporations, and sometimes they do have, I call them swayed answers. But then sometimes you get these weird offers. Like we'll see them all the time. Offers like the plastic. What's the U.S. General guy just put out this week? That's kind of causing ripples. Is that the third leading cause in cancer is alcohol?
Oh, wow.
And now he wants to put new labels on alcohol to give people the warning that, you can cause you cancer. Growing up, I didn't know that. I know it causes, I know it's not good for you long term.
Yeah,
but I didn't know. Now you told people it may cause you cancer. I might say, shots. Nope. I'm okay. Don't want cancer today.
Well, you should just drink red wines. Comes from grapes.
Hey, nope. It has a label on it. It's like cigarettes. It has a label. I don't want to. I want to do it.
All right, so about the science, what's next?
Yeah, I was saying we know other dimensions exist. So what if at some points in time these other dimensions don't bleed into here? What if you travel from another dimension to your dimension, or what if it's just not real anyway? What if, I mean, seriously, you can't tell me you've never stood in front of a mirror and like, let's just say hypothetically, what if that is a different me on the other side of this mirror and it's not just a quote unquote a reflection?
Well, I mean, you know my theory on
The Truman Show.
the Truman Show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that my theory of the Truman Show is honestly spot on. I'm
all
just the
about
star.
Jeremy.
It's all about me.
It's all about Jeremy.
You guys are my friends. You come here and do this podcast, and you're getting paid by somebody. Are you really my friends, or are you just my paid friends?
Sure.
You know, that's but
I'm not
just,
getting a check to be a friend about.
I'm just letting you know.
If
they pay you extra to say that whenever I bring this up because you have to talk me into the fact that I'm not a star of my own show.
Jeremy, I want to know for 100%.
If I'm getting paid to be your friend,
I would
Jeremy,
not miss the episode.
I'm getting ripped the hell off.
And I would have missed the episode at all. I'd have been here sick aside. If I was getting paid, I'd have been here with my cold blanket wrapped up. Like, yeah, I don't feel good, Jeremy, but I'm here because I'm paid to be here.
If I'm getting paid, Jeremy, I need a nicer house. I need.
So you're saying they don't pay you enough to be my friend?
I don't get paid enough to live the life I live. I'm just saying.
Every text message is $1. You know, every phone call is 10.
Think about it. What if your whole life is a lie? Let's just say.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm the star.
Yeah, you're the star.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're the star of your life. Let's just say you're the star of your life. But one day when you wake up, your whole life was a lie. What if this right here, none of this is real?
Well, it's not
And
because
it's not
y'all
the
are
Truman
being
Show.
paid.
Yeah, but let's say it's not the Truman Show.
Okay.
Let's say it's not like the Truman Show. Let's just say like right now, none of this right here is real. This is all made up in my mind. And then in the actual reality, I'm somewhere else dreaming all this. Or, you know, I'm in a mental institution in a straitjacket in a corner somewhere talking to myself.
Which is a figment of your imagination.
You're a figment of my imagination. What if?
Well, I'm the man of your dreams is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So that's great.
You would
And
be
then
one of many, I guess, which is even weirder.
When you say it out loud like that, it is very sus.
Yeah. What's your take?
It is a theory. I guess I'm trying to look it up right now. It's a theory within communication I remember studying, where this guy says that these things aren't real. Like the Vietnam War isn't real. World War I and II isn't real. Our lived experiences aren't real. And what he was getting at, all this stuff is built up in the alternate universe and realm, and we're like kind of like the Matrix. Like we're kind of just dreaming these things. And there are moments in my life where I feel like stranger than fiction. Have y'all seen that movie?
Like Deja Vu.
Yeah, like
deja vu. Like
yeah.
I've already been here. I've already done this.
Well, have y'all seen Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell?
I think so.
Yes.
In Stranger Than Fiction, his life is being this author is writing a book, but she's writing her story about a guy who actually exists, and as she writes, she's changing his life. I feel like that most times in my life. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. I feel like, in my mind, I'm supposed to be here, but I'm not there. Instead, I'm experiencing all this newness that I don't think is necessarily supposed to be a part of my life. And then there's days where deja vu happens, but I'm like, I've been here before. This seems eerily familiar. Yeah. I feel as if I've done this or seen this or had this moment already.
See, I experience that probably once a week.
Where it's almost
where
like you've experienced it in a past life almost.
Well, no, not a past life where I'm experiencing what was that movie? I think it was like Phenomenon or something where he actually sees the future and then it happens. Yeah. Or even, what is that? The one where everything death tries to catch up to you. I can't think of the name of that movie.
Final Destination.
Final Destination. I feel like I have situations like that at least once a week where it'll just be a random thing where I'll be driving in the car and I know exactly how everything's about to go down for like the next 2 minutes. I know that I'm going to have to stop at that stoplight. This car is going to cut me off. I'm going to yell at that person. I'm going to honk at that person. As it's happening, I feel like I've already experienced it. Or if I'm sitting down to eat a sandwich or something, I already know how the experience is going to be, or just all these different things. It's not like one specific scenario, but it's different scenarios all the time, even at just pumping gas.
Yeah.
I'll be getting out and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a piece of trash right there or something. I'm like,
Yeah, I've seen
been
things like
here
that
before.
happen too, where like I'll see somebody and they're doing something and I'm like, I've seen this person wearing this jacket do this before. Like,
Exactly.
so weird, but.
Yeah, it's not like a previous life thing because it's my life right here and now, and I'm seeing it happen. I've already experienced it, and it's just weird.
Well, the reason I brought up previous life and things like that is there are certain things, like certain thoughts or certain feelings or just certain instances where you feel the feeling of this seems different, seems familiar. I mean,
Yeah.
not necessarily the stuff that I'm seeing, but this right here seems familiar. Like I've done this before.
So I found a theory. It's called a simulation hypothesis. And pretty much what it is that the world that we're living in, we have no access to the reality. Which what you're getting to is it feels as if this is not real.
Yeah.
And we're here. But I'm here. I'm existing, but everything feels fake.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, too, I found out the other day that there's, and I think I told you this, too, scientists have said they discovered a giant black hole that's been hibernating for like hundreds of years. But the reason this black hole is hibernating is because it has eaten so many other galaxies that it has went to sleep and that it is fixing to wake up and start eating again. Start feeding again.
So black holes are living organisms?
I guess so, according to this.
This is science?
This is science. Yep. This is science.
You got to trust the science.
Wait here. I'm about to take I'm going to call it the Jeremy approach. I have not seen it.
I have not seen it. That's what I'm saying about the moon, man. I haven't been to the moon.
You see it though, so
we see it though.
Oh, okay.
So Jeremy, you believe in the moon? Did you see it?
I do believe the moon exists. I mean, I just
believe there's something up there.
I don't believe they went to the moon.
Did y'all know we had to? And this is not to take away from what you're saying, because I want to make sure we get back to it. But that we had our first black moon in like 100,000 years, something crazy like that. Yeah, it's so rare.
Beautiful.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Did you see it?
Did you know that right now you can see Jupiter and Venus?
From where?
From here, from Earth. You'll be able to see it like the best.
I mean,
June 18th.
He said from Earth.
I mean, January 18th.
He said from Earth. Like, where else? I mean, I get them from Earth. From like, how? Like, do I have to have a telescope? Because remember, when y'all saw the Northern Lights, I never saw them. This kind of stuff doesn't make it to the ghetto. All right, we don't get to see planet.
I showed you how Northern Lights are made. I can do that at your house.
Oh, you come.
No problem. We can.
Let's see what you got for me. In January, Venus and Jupiter and Saturn and Mars are visible in the sky.
It's just going to look like a bright star if you're not actually looking at it through a telescope. So,
do you have a telescope? Who has a telescope?
I'd love to have a telescope. I don't have one.
My wife ain't gonna let me buy one, so that's not fair.
I mean, we can check it out. I don't know.
But we were talking about Final Destination a minute ago and kind of talking about like deja vu and past life, like I've been here before and stuff. What would you think? You ever seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect?
Absolutely.
Okay. Take that into account.
I think that's real.
I think stuff like that, people can actually do that. The problem is most people are not able to tap into that ability to do that.
You mean like kill a butterfly and change a situation?
No, I'm saying to go back in time to experience it, to experience these experiences you've seen before and you've actually been a part of, and that in other dimensions.
So, are you saying that's what deja vu is for you?
I believe you're able to jump between other dimensions.
What do you think deja vu?
Some people. I don't know about everybody, but
you're talking about what I experienced.
Yeah. This experience when you describe, what do you think it is?
I think it's some sort of what do they call that? A premonition or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I would consider worthless. Well, because in my scenarios, it's not preventing me from something bad happening.
Right.
Like,
But you can see
I'm not seeing I'm not seeing that if I don't turn left here, I'm going to get T-boned in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So I go ahead and turn left.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I look over and I see this car run a red light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I'm experiencing. I'm just experiencing like, oh, this person's going to walk in and say hi. And like usual, I'm just like, hey, keep moving. And
a pointless
get off my lawn, like
right.
But to me, it's pointless premonitions.
Yeah,
I guess. And I don't know if it's one of those things because, obviously I believe in Jesus. So I don't know if it's one of those things that I'm supposed to just continue to understand that's happening and be open to it.
Yeah.
That way, like, this could be all training for something in the future.
Right.
Or something like that. And this is God's way of saying, hey, you need to have your eyes open, your ears open, and mind open to what I'm trying to prevent or, whatever the scenario is. So to me right now, it's pointless. I don't know if it'll ever, one day if I literally see, if I don't turn left here and then I see a car run a red light and I would have been right there, then I'd be like, holy smokes. Okay.
Right.
Tuned in 100%.
Or maybe
let's see if anything else
you
is
get the
happening.
lottery numbers when it's
I'm okay with that too.
$1 billion. I think for me, it's deja vu is when your timeline overlaps a little bit. So I don't necessarily think it's another dimension, but I think it's a different timeline of your life. For instance, the reason I say that is because you ever get around people and you're like, I don't know why, but we're like I want to be around you.
Yeah.
Or you talk to somebody and you never met this person a day in your life, and yet y'all feel like this energy between y'all feel like I'm supposed to be friends with you.
Yeah.
And y'all have a connection like that, and it's jokes and laughter as if y'all have been friends your entire life. I think something, and just push this narrative a little bit. Just because I'm thinking out loud. Is that feeling of true love that women desire so bad? I just want to be with my true love. I think your true love is when you meet that same person again. And if we're doing a past life timeline situation here, is on another timeline, you married, you two people were married.
Yeah.
But then now on this new timeline, y'all don't necessarily be married, but y'all have this thing for it's
like each other. And
you just want you want to be with each other, like Hancock. You ever seen the movie Hancock? Yeah. On Hancock, he said they're having that fight and hit Will Smith character and the chick, and she's like, I've been trying to run away from you from decades and centuries and eons, and you always find your way back to me. Is I think that sometimes these deja vu moments, it's a rupture in the timeline where you're able to see on another time. Now the scientific thing for deja vu, they would say, is when your brain and your body are in the same speed for the change. So for instance, you're naturally where we always see things in the past.
Yeah.
By the time your brain can process it, you're like, I think the time cycle was pretty slow for your brain, which is in like 1.3 seconds you just experience it.
It's very slow for your brain because they say your brain runs off of electrons.
Yeah. So by 1.3 seconds, you're behind all the time.
Right.
So everything even this moment we're processing it slow.
Yeah.
So deja vu is when your brain and your processing aligns for like a hot second. You're like, oh snap! I've been and you're having like the Lucy, aka what's the other movie with Bradley Cooper, Limitless effects, when your brain is running at its natural speed and you're actually seeing or experiencing on time.
Interesting.
Deja.
I didn't realize that was scientific.
But they study everything.
Deja vu.
Well, the fact that
Your
they
brain
say
is
that
delayed.
you actually might be on the same level
Yeah.
at that point, which is interesting because that actually kind of explains some of deja vu, because you're starting to actually see it at the same time, but then your brain is processing it again, maybe for the second time, and that's when you're actually seeing it, which is interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting theory.
So that was a theory I saw. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I like that theory.
Yeah, but I was gonna say the same thing too with the past life part, where you were saying how some people are connected. Some people are connected that way through where they feel like their souls are just connected.
Yeah.
And they've been connected forever. And they were able to refine the person they've always been with in their past lives and everything. I believe it's also that way with places.
Yeah.
You're connected to a place.
Yeah.
A place that you feel like you've been there before. You know this place. You've been there before. And it just clicks whenever you're there.
Right.
Sometime. I think it's
have you experienced that? Have you been to a place like, yeah, this is my place?
I have not.
Me either. I haven't experienced it. I've been to places like, oh, this is cool. I have never been to a restaurant or like a state or wherever and be like, yeah, this is home.
But me personally, I think that everybody does have that place, and I think that whenever you do get there, you're going to feel it.
Do you think, knowing how many people in the world, do you think that that's an experience that everybody in the world gets?
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
I think I might change it, but I feel like that in Hilton Head. When I go to Hilton Head, I feel like this is
Like
where I'm supposed to
belong?
be.
You belong there.
Yeah, I do get that little urge. Like
Something about the golf and the old people, huh?
Oh man, I'm in heaven. The two things I like: golf, old people, and the beach.
Yep.
Jeez, it gets no better.
But what about you though? When I asked Jeremy that question, like, have you ever stood in front of a mirror and just wondered, like, is this just a reflection, or I wonder if the person I'm seeing, if there's a whole other world behind that, like on the other side of that glass?
I've had the experience where, not necessarily with the mirror, but I often think like, this is not my real life.
Yeah.
Like I'm being controlled by something.
Yeah.
And I'm just want to wake up out the matrix, and I go to sleep and I wake up the same. So, and then I'm a Christian, so I don't necessarily believe in reincarnation or anything like that. But sometimes I think, like, what if this world is just rinse and repeat? Like,
You die, then you come
back, and you just come back as someone different. And I
Yeah,
don't
what
think
if you come back in a completely different life?
that's what I'm saying. Like, what if I come back as an Asian man this time?
Yeah.
Or what if
I would
like
love to see you as an Asian man. I think that would be phenomenal.
I don't even know what I look like. I wouldn't have any of these features.
As long as you
I would
had the
be
same
Asian.
personality, it'd be phenomenal.
You know what?
What if you're still a black man? But you know,
that would suck a little bit.
why? Don't be
Am I still in this
ashamed.
world, or I'm in another world as a black man? Am I in a world where like that's like? Watch this. Now this don't sound crazy for y'all, but bear with my imagination. Am I in a world where like slavery never happened, and it was like I'm in a world where the inverse of happened?
There's a lot
like
of
white
different-
people was in slavery this time, and am I still black then? Or maybe I'm in a world where it's all black people.
That's a lot
Maybe
of
it's-
different, there's a lot of different scenarios we could go down
That's
with this. Because what world coincides with what reality?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
you don't know.
But okay, let's say I came back to just got the phone.
Let's say
breaking it.
hypothetically, you're in the same planet, but you're and you're a black man, but you're in a different time,
Like it's like year 5,000.
or you're way back in the day.
Oh no, I'm not going back in time.
You don't know. You have no control over.
Why
that.
would I want to go back in time as
You
a black
don't
man?
get to pick
That
and
is
choose.
terrible.
You don't get to pick and choose. You're not God.
Well, what if I come back as God?
You can't come back as God.
Why are you
God
limiting
is
my
God.
imagination?
God's God.
Oh, that's not fair.
God is God
Why can I come back as Jesus if I'm going back in time?
because you're not Jesus.
Well, who made you God?
Nobody made me God. Just saying.
I get what you're saying. I've been funny, but okay, because I don't want God to strike me down later on at home.
Lord knows.
You want to play with me, Trey? No, I was joking. But okay, I definitely never want to come back. If it's not like the caveman period, I definitely don't want to come back to any time between like
Between then and now.
like. I mean, I can come back like when I was born, 1988. I can handle the
Yeah,
88s
yeah,
and
I can
up,
handle
but
the
I
90s
can't.
and
I can't handle anything between like 1976 and like. What was like 1500s of America? Now that gap, leave me out of it. But if I did have to come back in that time frame, it would be cool to see historically. Yeah. If I could if I could remember.
But you might you might not be here. You might not have to go through that. What if you came back in a time period that way, but you're in like, I don't know, man.
Like if I came back and doing the 1500s through the 1700s, but I'm like what, like an Asian man?
You're in the Bahamas.
That's still bad. Hot and bad. That's what I'm saying. For
Fine, you're
black,
in Ireland. How about that?
would black people even be in Ireland?
You would be.
Like, that would be weird. You're the only one. Here we go. It's about to get in verse. I don't want to come. I know this is not funny, but it's funny. As a black man, I don't want to come back anywhere in the past. Now we're talking about in the future. I have no idea what the future holds. So yeah, I'll definitely come back in the future. You know, because I don't know. Now,
see what I'm saying,
yeah, I do. If we came back in a different world and a different experiences, that would be cool. Because then what if on this Earth 1999, you know, on Earth 99, whatever they call them, and it's just like we were still in the human, you know, trying to become human stage. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. What if in a completely different dimension, they don't live on Earth, they live on Mars,
Suck.
and Earth would actually be like the moon there or something? It's completely different.
Yeah, like one of these sci-fi
What if?
films.
I'm just saying. Yeah, what if?
He
What
trying
if everything is completely ass backwards in another dimension, but in a different life, you could live in there?
if it's cool, they got pretty women.
Because I don't know. Because God creates everything. So you can't say, well, in all of these other galaxies, and all these other dimensions, all these other light years that are away from here, nothing would
Like
he wouldn't create anything else there, right?
Like
completely different life.
like Andromeda. Whatever
Yeah.
we was able to get
Yeah.
into Andromeda,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I don't know. That would be a cool thing because they have an Earth-like planet. I would say then that would be like the new Earth. I would love it.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to go down this scenario here, I'm just going to come back into what I would call Jertopia. And that is my own dimension where is my own dimension where Earth does exist.
Yeah.
Everything that they say is actually true. There's no lies. There's no
Oh wow.
cover-ups. Jertopia is phenomenal. You guys should buy tickets.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you pretty much you want heaven on Earth.
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it just sounds phenomenal in my head. And if I'm coming back, it's not coming into some weird dimension you're talking about. We're just gonna bring it over to Geritopia, okay? And that is where it exists.
Have y'all seen the movie Interstellar?
Yes.
Okay, so y'all remember, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, you're about to get one. Where he's pushing the books for his daughter because he's on a different timeline. That timeline, I guess, is moving faster. I didn't get that part of it. Like, how does he come back and how does he break the timeline? But in my mind, that would be how I think time works. Is like Interstellar, where you're able to still come back to your time frame, but not in the same format of dimension. So like the dimensions, because time is linear, you fold back on it, and when you fold back on it, you blur it. And so that's where I'm thinking, like in Interstellar, you can like let's say for instance, right now I can go back to myself in this moment, and I would say, like, I can't touch tray, but I can touch the items. So like I can move the can over. Because you ever seen that happen? Like you're sending something and then something moves by itself. Yeah. And you're like, you know,
oh, a ghost just moved this.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the demon. But you know, it's sometimes, I don't know, man, like we would call it discernment in the church, but sometimes you would have these inklings like, I've been here before, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And you've never been there.
Yeah.
Or I've seen, like, your spidey
Or you just go
senses.
into a room and you're like, I do not like the feeling in this room. I don't like the
Or
feeling
you
in
meet
this
a-
room.
oh,
I
shoot.
don't know why I don't like it, but I don't like it.
No, the inverse. You know how you meet somebody and you feel great? It's sometimes you meet a person, you're like, that guy is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't shake him. Like,
And I don't know why, because I never got this feeling before, but I get the feeling.
Yeah.
If you know who I'm talking about now. I get the feeling of him now.
Zuckerberg, right?
I get that.
he
There's
said
just
Elon.
something about him, man.
Okay.
I just don't like. There's just something about him I don't like.
maybe in a past life, y'all ran across each other wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but if we're going to go down a whole other thing here, so saying of hypotheticals and what ifs and stuff like that, in this dimension, in this world, what if we're nothing but an ant farm?
Thanks. That's the destiny I know right there.
What
As
if
long as I'm the star,
you would be the star of the ant farm?
You want to be the queen ant?
Of the aliens.
I like to be the king ant.
of whoever.
The king
Not
ant gets
just-
killed by.
But
the
I
queen ant.
believe
I'm okay with that.
You all, everybody knows. Dustin believes, yes, there are aliens. There are aliens. There's other species. But I also believe, just like with people, you have good ones, you have bad ones. You're gonna have races. Of
Yeah.
And I think there's good ones. I think there's bad ones. What if this is nothing but an ant farm for some bad ones? Or,
Bad aliens?
Yeah. And there's
I
some
appreciate them letting me have a
there's some good
podcast
ones.
studio
and there's some good
in the
ones.
ant farm.
And there's
I'm
some
just
good
saying.
ones. Then I don't know, man. They try to protect us or whatever. I don't know.
If I see a
That's
thumb,
all weird.
if I see a thumb come through my ceiling and smash us right now because we're calling them out on our ant farm, I'm going to be really pissed that you said that.
Right.
Just letting you know.
I know, bud.
I think
And if we're in an ant farm, why am I paying taxes and bills?
money is the illusion.
Golly.
It's not real.
Yeah.
If we're in an ant farm, get rid of taxes, get rid of bills.
I still stick with what I had said that one time when we were doing an alien episode, and I was like, what if, aliens came here, they showed us all this other technology and all these ways to do it, and then we didn't use it the way that we should have used it, and we used it for the wrong purpose, and they're like, no, bump that. You are using it wrong. We're leaving. And they left. But they're going to come back and claim their world.
I'll tell you this, we're the smarter species.
Yeah, I know. I remember
Yeah.
you educated me on that.
We educated them, Dustin.
Right.
We gave them the ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Gave
I'm just
them
saying.
So then we give them the technology to exit.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
The same technology that the people are using to get out of
When
here.
you say stuff like this, and then we have moments where people are literally dumbfounded by drones in the sky and they want the government to shoot it down, I'm like, no, we're not the advanced species. Or my personal favorite, all you have to do is watch America's Funniest Videos to show that we're not the elite, the elite species.
I think we proved that whenever they had to start putting the warning labels on Tide Pods going, you do not eat these. You do not ingest these.
Yeah, but what if the aliens were already doing that and we had to let them know, hey, when you're washing your clothes,
They don't
make sure you don't eat
wear
the time.
clothes.
We shouldn't be wearing clothes.
Well, maybe we're trying to teach them, cover it up.
We shouldn't be covering it up. We should be rocking out. It's freaking Adam and Eve.
Hey, just saying, man. It's all something to think about.
Well, that would get into one of those weird camps that we were talking about.
Oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
Sometimes you gotta know when to cut loose, Jeremy.
Nope.
In
Nope.
the end,
Nope.
I think that we're all here on God's creation to experience what he created and experience its beauty and what it was intended for us to live here in a place that he created for us. And while we're here, we should finally see it and enjoy it while we can and while we're here. And then hopefully I'm right and say, yeah, past life, whatever, and you get to come back and you get to experience again. But if not, enjoy it while you're able to enjoy it. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Take in the beauty that he created for you.
That's what the aliens are trying to do. They're trying to come here to take in the beauty because we're the higher species.
Well, think about it. And not just in that creation, but in these other galaxies and these other dimensions and everything. He created that as well.
And they realize we're better.
I don't know.
I mean, isn't that
We're
what maybe
not
we should
bad-
have
we're not
intergalactical Olympics?
Maybe
We're not better.
we
than
are.
Right, I would back
hey,
that.
listen to this. Maybe we are their past life. Maybe what if you die and then you go, that is your next life?
Heaven is an alien spaceship.
Never know. Another galaxy, another dimension.
You are fake news.
Then whenever it bleeds over and you hit that deja vu, that's that alien form and that alien dimension bleeding into this one going, wow, this looks familiar. What if?
You saying what if, so I can't really say anything.
I know, but I'm just saying, you say a lot of times, well, you said that and it makes sense.
Just so the people are aware,
Well,
every week when I edit this podcast, I have a button called delete the silence.
Yeah.
There has been long pause here,
because
but you're not going to hear it.
That long.
There was
pause.
long pause.
Not that long.
this is okay. I'm stuck between we're the dominant species, or whatever, not the dominant species,
We're not.
and I'm
We're the same
and,
species.
and oh, excuse me, dominant species, same species, and I'm saying no, we're just a regular species that potentially has a timeline issue.
World domination.
We're trying to I would say, yeah, we're trying to dominate each other, but I don't think that. I think we're inferior species.
We're galaxy domination.
We can't even stop.
You can't even go to the moon.
stop
We went to the
animals on this
moon.
planet.
I saw it on the TV. We went to the moon. I mean, look at that. How many other countries have done that?
Hey,
Have you seen any alien movies where they
great-grandmother-
landed on the moon?
Hey,
They landed on Earth from their country.
I
my
don't know about
great grandmother watched it live on TV.
Shit, they didn't have live TV then. It was a pre-recorded. So they don't know. They do it all the time. The NBA is delayed. NFL is delayed. We watch nothing in real time. But and watch this. Even the things we
Do we
watch
live
in real time. No, I just told you like a second behind your brain.
That's right.
So
What you said.
and then that's
Re-saying
not even
that.
that's not even get on time. And then we just the calendar. We don't know what we live. We don't know what we're doing. We're just making up stuff. For all we know, our birthdays are made up, and we're really like all of us in this room are 12
Well,
years
that's
old.
true because Jeremy said earlier that the New Year's is actually in March.
Right.
Yeah, interesting concept.
It's not January 1st.
Jeremy can be 12. I can be 13. You can be 45. We don't know.
I think birthdays are inconsequential anyway. Life starts at conception, right?
Depending on your view.
Just saying, wouldn't that technically be your birthday?
Birth would be when they gave.
Well, I guess it would be Alive Day then. Do we celebrate Alive Day?
We can celebrate Conception Day.
That's terrible.
We can get those infant church. We made it. Hey, I always tell people, and I really do mean this, if you're alive as a human being, you have a better chance and better odds of hitting a lottery back to back than you are at being a human being. Look at the ramifications of these actions. You don't believe? Okay.
What are you saying? I didn't follow.
Okay. You have as a human being, you have a better chance at hitting the lottery back to back than becoming a human being in the flesh. Want me to break it down?
I got it. No need to break it down.
I'm
We'll
breaking
explain
it down.
No, we're
Dustin
good.
looks like he
My
wants.
kids listen to this show. I don't need to get into.
Well, they actually, I've taught this in youth ministry, and
I've taken them out. No,
Oh. And this. I don't go into deep detail. This is how kids are made. Okay, Jeremy, so you're okay.
all right.
Did you
get this.
This is
Right.
crazy.
I get you, but get this. I don't believe in coincidences. So therefore,
But
it
how?
was intended. God intended it for it to be. God created you.
But I'm saying that's hard.
It
The
is, but
human
he's
process
God.
of conception of becoming a human is hard. It's not an easy process. Everyone has life purpose. This is where I go for the kids. Everyone has life purpose. God did make
Thanks
this
for bringing
intent-
it home.
No problem. God has intentionality behind it, no doubt. But what I want people to see is that in this ideas that we're just tossing out ideas, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that we're not dominant to any species, which is here.
Oh, we're
And then-
dominant.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Global.
And we're not inferior, or I want to say we're not the same as. I think everybody is unique. I think this planet is to be shared with folks. When I say folks, I mean animals. And we're supposed to be in a shared space of trying to figure out how to build an ecosystem for us that's going to make us live better and longer. Instead, I'm not going to get on the political aspect of things, but I think there is a time frame in which we have to figure out as a people, the deja vus and what are we trying to achieve? And to your point is, I think the reason why life feels like a simulation to a lot of us, because although we made it here, we're not operating in our core purpose. So now we feel like my life is being controlled, or Big Brother is watching us. There go Jeremy. or we feel, proud that we're bigger than something. We have to feel like that because we don't know I would say 98% of the world doesn't know what they're supposed to be doing in life.
Yeah.
So your life will feel fake.
Right.
Every time you go to your job, no matter if they pay you good and all that, you don't care. That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. And I think a lot of times if we would take a step back and we would take time to sit down and meditate and focus in on the earth and allow the earth to speak.
You said do
to us.
what?
Yeah, sit down.
What?
Take time, meditate,
What about my phone?
and connect with the earth. Feel the earth.
Zuckerberg is
Breathe
calling.
in the air that is the breath of God and is the breath of, the earth breathing. Take that in. Feel it. Feel her.
How dare you try to separate
And
me from my
it will,
phone?
that's when you will connect and realize what your purpose is. And your purpose is to take care of this planet that is supposed to take care of you.
I agree with you 100% that we should be turning our minds off, meditating, locking in on what things God wants from us. And I would say essentially in helping this planet. But people have gotten to a point where that stuff doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's why I think that's why suicide is up. You said a key. Sit down and meditate. There's a Bible verse, I think it's in Isaiah, and it says, "Be still and know that I am the Lord."
Mm-hmm.
The key phrase in that is be the freak still. In our current day society,
Are you not still when you're swiping through Instagram, Trey?
no, you're swiping. And your mind is
And your mind
definitely
is racing.
boy.
You need an Android so you can
Is
just do the head motion.
You could do
Just
that. You
leave
could
your-
you could do that. Accessibility. You could go to.
I don't do that, sir. I just
And then not original. Don't pray God. Well, I'd hope that your algorithm is not jacked up and you're just swiping to get crazy stuff.
right.
I sent that joke you sent me, and I sent you one back. I sent 2 jokes. I sent that same joke to a couple of my friends. Now that's all the jokes I get. I'm like, I'm tired of these little weird jokes. There we go. I'm not gonna say what kind of joke it is, but I'm tired of these weird jokes. And that stuff can really pollute your mind. When your mind gets polluted, I believe that's when you feel like you're starting to have a lot more deja vu moments, and or you start to want and desire to be on a simulation.
Well, that's why TikTok's going away.
I don't know. Donnie said he wouldn't want to keep it.
Nope. Changed the stance.
It is going away.
Yep, still going.
I'll say this, and then I'll say this, and this will be the last thing I say on this. I think God created this earth, and he gave it to us as a gift, a place that was intended to be paradise for us to live in his image for all eternity. And from the moment of creation, we spit on it and spit in his face with it. Now we're killing his creation. We're killing this earth, and we're not respecting his creation because we don't even respect ourselves, which we are his creation.
Facts.
We don't respect it. We're killing it. And in turn, he will reclaim it. One of these days, it's going to be reclaimed. Whether you believe it, whether you like it, whether you don't, it doesn't matter. It's facts. So,
Do you think when you say he reclaims it, is he reclaiming it in the sense of punishment for those who don't believe, or he's just reclaiming it?
no, it says he's going to reclaim it, and those that are wicked will be punished for it. So that part's true.
That's why you have to buy a Tesla. Save the environment. That was another long
true.
silence.
That part is not true. You're not buying a Tesla to save it.
I ain't saying that. I'm talking about the other stuff I said.
And I just want you to know, anytime that Jerry throws out a Tesla joke, they're looking at my response to see how I feel about it, and it upsets me. That's what it does.
Sorry. I mean,
If I could muster fake anger right now, it's just hit the mic a couple times. I'm out of here. Take this headset off me. Take this headset off of me. But I feel where you're going. I think a lot of times that we don't have those opportunities to unplug. That's why I think Jeremy, that's why like the way you run your house, technology free, getting those kids those moments, I think are key to us being a better human species, because I think we're missing this part, what we're doing now, talking, chilling, hanging out. And I just think, to your point, people long for a paranormal or maybe just out of body experience that they'll muster these deja vus. They'll muster these
Yeah.
things.
I mean, that's part of the reason I really enjoy going on vacation, because I usually, if I'm able to, set the phone aside, set all the technology aside. Either I have time by myself or time with the family without any of that. And it's nice. It's like I told my kids, you know, I've kind of started now. Usually we got in the routine of when I'd get home, we'd start watching something together. You know, and again, we watch it as a family. We
Right.
don't split up. So we're still spending time together, but now we're starting to pull out the chessboard, the checkers, stuff like that. I'm like, all right, it's we're going to play a game, you know, and we'll just start doing that more than the technology side of things, and just kind of unplugging a little bit, which is something that I think that's part of where the morality piece of of our society has kind of gone downhill, is just from technology and all the things that we're feeding the brain instead of just unplugging and just listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just listening. And that's not just listening to each other. We need to listen to each other. We need to listen to nature. And through doing all that, you will hear the spirits talking to you, because they're talking to you every day.
A lot of times I'm not a big fan of just being by myself unplugged. I feel like the spirits I hear are just voices. Like, shut up, I don't want to hear you.
And that is how demon possession starts, Jeremy.
See, that's why I got to keep something going all the time.
This, and you might not like this answer, and you may not agree with it, and that's okay too. But you said you don't like being alone by yourself. You're never alone by yourself.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the human contact.
I know that. I know.
It's I've never gone on vacation by myself. I've never
Never?
Nope.
Never went to the movies by yourself?
Nope. I've always gone with somebody. I have I mean, to be honest with you, there's probably last year I probably spent a total of maybe 5 hours in this house by myself. The only time that I ever have by myself really is in my car. And y'all know I'm usually talking on the phone while I'm in the car. If it's not,
Really?
if I'm not talking to one of y'all, I'll talk to my wife, talk to the kids while I'm driving to and from work. Driving to work is usually my only quiet time without anything, because, you know, nobody's up or just whatever. But yeah, I mean, my kids are always like, oh, what are you going to do with all your time home alone? You know, they'll be going for like an hour or 2 hours, you know, with Amanda or something. I'm like, I usually end up sleeping. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just asleep.
I love being by myself.
I try to go out, you know, I'll try to go out when I have the house to myself, and I'll try to fix my garage up. You know, my garage is always a freaking mess.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out here and, no, I'd rather sleep.
Right.
I don't know. It's just, that's the time that I get. I mean, it sounds great in theory. Like, I think it was last episode we were talking about when you had some alone time when you were in Vegas. And I was like, that sounds phenomenal. But that's exactly what I do whenever I have time by myself. I sleep.
Right.
I literally just rest. Other than that, I would rather play a game with my kids or watch TV with my family than go sit out in nature by myself. Yeah. So I'm not plugged in like that.
I love being by myself, but I never get to be by myself.
Yeah.
Those are very, very rare.
That's what I mean. Like, the only time I get by myself is usually when I'm driving to work.
Yeah.
Because you ain't been on a plane yet.
I ain't been on a plane.
You get on that plane, you'll start going by. I'm going to make sure this summer, save some coins. I'll make sure you get your passport. I'm saying, hey, we need to take a guy's trip. And then, let your wife, tell your wife ahead of time.
That's not a trip by himself, though.
Yeah. No. So see, I'm very intentional, because you're not sharing a room. You'll be in a room by yourself. You're going to get some alone time.
If we're going somewhere in the summer, we better go somewhere cool.
No, you go somewhere hot.
Oh God, no! I'm not going.
You take your shirt off, man. Come on.
Greenland is going to be part of the United States soon.
No, we can go.
Won't even
Greenland.
Require a passport.
We can go to Greenland, and it's cold over there. We can go to Greenland in the summer. That'd be great.
Come on, Trey. This is more silence that's here.
Let's
that's
really,
if we're going
to do it, let's really go do it and go all out. Let's go to Alaska.
Alaska is hot during the summer. Trust me, you need to go to an all-inclusive.
Well, let's go to Antarctica.
You can sit in the pool. The pool is freaking freezing.
No.
You take your shirt off, you drink, you get your nice little adult beverage with an umbrella, and you get in the pool and you sit there
you
with
get
your
cancer now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I drink from a plastic straw.
Cardboard.
With a cardboard umbrella. With some red 40 in it.
This is overseas. They don't have that stuff.
Okay, you're right.
They're eating safe.
Sorry, I'm done trolling. Y'all go ahead.
Well, if Greenland becomes a part of the United States, then it's not. I mean,
oh Jesus,
they'll have the same.
We're not buying Greenland. We're not buying any more land.
Not what Elon says.
All right.
So do you have any?
Hit the button. Hit the button right now.
You are fake news.
Thank you. Tell him, Donnie. Tell him.
So, do you guys have any other final remarks for this, Dustin?
I mean, this is my rabbit hole. This is my mind that is strange me. But
What's your biggest theory out of all the things?
My biggest theory is it's not really a theory. My biggest theory is not a theory. My biggest thing is take a look around you, realize the possibilities that are there, and don't just look at everything and say, "Oh man, that's just my imagination."
Yeah, but what is your biggest theory out of the whole thing? Are we the anthill, or is it a TV show about me that y'all are being paid to be on?
No,
That's what I'm going with.
I look at it as.
Am I the man of your dreams?
I look at it as.
Why?
When you look at
straight
other dimensions do exist. I think that there's other. I guess you could call it other time lapse there, and they cross over sometimes and bleed in, and that's what I think.
Okay. What about you, Trey? How did the Dustin theory?
I think we're in a simulation most days, whether it be metaphorically or for real. I think people are zombie. I call it the Walking Dead. They're walking through life dead. They don't have a purpose. I think once you realize how lucky you are to be a human being here, once you recognize that sometimes life's going to give you lemons, that you figure out how to adjust accordingly, whether it be job or income, or I think once you figure those things out, the deja vu slow down a little bit because you're not longing to be in another time.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with I'm the star of the Truman Show, and you guys are being paid to be here. So that's.
I don't know how I convince you that I'm not getting paid. But I'm not.
I need some time off.
I know they paid you to say that. So
I want a raise. I need some time off.
I know you guys get some sort of bonus check whenever I start down this.
I wish.
Yeah, I know you do. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know. You don't.
I wish. That would be amazing. I would be your best friend. I'll call you every day and just show up at the house just so I can receive a check.
I know you do, Trey. It's okay. Yeah.
I need a raise.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. Don't forget, next week, hopefully we have Flat Earth Dave on, so make sure you're listening. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Thanks again for listening.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, the truth's out there. Just read between the lines.
Yeah.